Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? Rise and shine. I got the cabin all to myself this morning. Marijuana motivation time, minus the marijuana, because I'm clean and sober. I got this whole lake to myself. And you already know, I love my life! And that's this morning's marijuana motivation, minus the marijuana, because your boy Marky Saint is clean and sober. That's right, day 2 of not smoking weed. And I feel good. I'm feeling really good. I got the glistening morning and a nice summer lake house. We got the lake house and we got clarity. Just like this water here, I am starting to see life a little bit differently. That Saints Addiction leg out. So, woke up and the homies have been cleaning it up. We got the kids playing in the sand, the homies mowing the lawn. My buddy's selling this place and it's unfortunate, but it's true. Somebody was over here redoing all the construction and putting everything together, and they did a shit job. And I don't know if they were drinking on the job, just leaving shit outside. Fuck it, let's just leave our sawzall outside. Fuck it, let's just push the barbecue off the side. I mean, there were so many things to run and hide. Even right now, as I go inside, I'm thinking to roll up, you know, really enjoy the sunrise. But what I really wanted to enjoy was my clarity of my mind. And even though it's a little fuzzy from sleeping in the morning, I still pack my stuff up, make sure it's nice and clean, everything organized. I still get inside my mind. We're going to grab my Saint Shade so I can sit out here and have this conversation this morning. And yeah, this is the morning motivation. I usually have weed in here, but there's no weed. As you can see, the box smells like some of the dankiest shit on earth. In itself entices me. But to be honest with you, I was sick of running. You know, I was sick of running from thought to thought, or running away from thoughts, or running away from thoughts. You know what I'm saying? The girls and the illegitimate ones that I didn't want to think, or just didn't want to think at all, and just wanted to maybe a form of escapism. Yeah. Maybe it's a bit of avoidance, right? Maybe it's just I thought I wanted to highlight my life all the time and just do whatever the fuck I wanted, whenever the fuck I wanted to, right? Like, I just felt like I always wanted to heighten the situation. I always wanted to make things better. And it turns out I was blocking things out. Like the birds arguing outside, I wouldn't have heard it because I would have been rolling up inside. And now we're going to go outside because we outside. And it feels good to go outside. It feels good to have clarity and peace of mind. And my Saint Shades and my Saint Slides. Let's go ahead. Let's go on in to the lake house and have a real conversation about life. So, turns out, you know, when you come out to the cabin, you have conversations, you know what I mean? That fresh air, some of the freshest air on earth. You can hear the swans chirping. You come see the lake with me. And that's what ends up happening. You know, you walk a path not knowing where it's going to go. Yeah, tell us about it. Look at them. Look at them chasing each other around. This is a blessing. So last time I was here, I was turning 45 all the way live. You can see this. And smoking my blunt, like I usually do. Nothing's changed. And if nothing changed, nothing changes. And that's what took place. You know, I had to face myself and my soul, and it was just sick of having the tobacco, washing my hands after, the nasty smell in my mouth. It wasn't like pure weed like I smoked back in America. And the nicotine started to take place where it was making me smoke more. And not that there's anything wrong with weed. I'll probably still smoke weed later on after I'm super successful. But I wanted my brain to be on AI. I wanted to be sharp for my teammate to be here. I didn't want to be up in a cloud, Pilvesa. That means high like a cloud, you know, in Finnish. I didn't want to be cloudy. I wanted to be sharp. And when you're sharp, that means you control your thoughts. That means they don't go running from here to there. Maybe it's a task, maybe it's an obstacle, maybe it's unsolicited fear, but it happens so fast. I remember tying this up. I'm floating around on the boat. we put the dock out, and it's bittersweet. You know, it's bittersweet to say goodbye to yesterday, to this cabin that they want to sell because they need money, or to get it right so they can sell it. And there's so many dreams still lingering here, like another cabin is supposed to be built over here. You can even see the concrete mixer. And as my friends are going to the landfill to throw away basically everything, you know, I was willing to give up one thing for everything, you know, even if it was weed. It was always something. If it wasn't nicotine, masturbation, women, alcohol, cocaine, you name it, all a distraction for me. And I was done being distracted. Thanks for the sunblock. I was done being cloudy, Pilvesa. I just got done with the tobacco. Even I wanted to be as sharp as I could be. I knew that AI needed me. It needed the sharpness of my brain, my full capacity, you know, Victu, even the shirts that I'm making, and my inner strength. Let me touch this heart from the start. You know, this inner strength to persevere when nobody was watching my show. And now we're doing video in a sec, and then all of a sudden my numbers explode. Or that I really do want to be the CEO of a very successful team, multi-million-dollar business, and become financially free. And to do these things, not only did I have to discipline me, right, in the way that I was eating, but I also had to discipline my mind. You know, there's thoughts that don't abide. The dude doesn't abide with thoughts of loss. Talking with my friend and how they have their kids and they're both about the same age and they're walking. Their kids are going, easy, 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 daddy, daddy, daddy. And I'm walking 45 years old, barren, without any children. That's a thought most people won't share on YouTube. That the suppression of my feelings from all the lost children that I've had, the babies that have been killed or the babies that weren't born, it's tough. Tear in my eye. You know, that's just tough. And the tough thoughts, the tough get going, but allowing it to take place and not letting it control me, making me keep up with patterns or smoke it away or not feel anything. I get to sit here and reflect. That's why I said it's clear, you know, clear and sober, so I can have solid conversations with myself, by myself, inside myself, to reach, preach, and teach to everybody every morning, but also to reach, preach, and teach to myself. You know, we're talking about inner strength. Who else do you know that quits habits like that? Who else you know that can travel the world and make my brands? And who else do you know pushes their boundaries so they can know their limits? And that's what it is. I wanted to go beyond what was limiting me, including myself, or any activities that would slow me down. I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes to roll a joint, and then in about another 2 hours to get uncloudy just to smoke it again. So I'll be back to flying my kite. with these beautiful clouds. And, I was just like, if I'm all right and I no longer have PTSD from South Korean prison or flashbacks from an unwanted abortion or fear of not being successful, what would I focus on? What would I double down on? And it turns out I doubled down on me. It's this fish and the lilies. With my brain capacity and my team building skills and my tenacity, I wasn't going to retard my speed anymore. It was making me lose hours. I would get so high with the tobacco and a bong rip that I just had to lay down. I was getting dizzy. And then I slept for 2 hours and I'm like, the sun is shining. I want to be out here. But I couldn't get unhigh to get here. So the goal was to just not get high so I don't have to dig my brain back out. Dig my brain back out of the hole it was digging. Right? There's a hole. And I was digging my own hole, Instead of working it out in my brain, I would just lift the cloud. And it's so much fun because it's like, it's hard to take away someone's fun when they're having beers and they're with their friends and everything's amazing. You'd be hard pressed to get somebody to give up their beer and their time with their friends. They feel gregarious, they feel amazing, they feel limitless. And the thing is it was limiting. I was watching the friend when they were watching the soccer game and some championship league, whatever, and the dude was just so fucking loud and so obnoxious. And yeah, man, yeah. And he looked like a bald head, short dude, red face, typical hooligan. But he's Finnish. He looked like an English hooligan. And I kept telling him, he was like, "You're ugly. I don't like you." And I was like, "That's a first, and I've never been called ugly before." And maybe because he thought I was cute, he wanted to talk about it. Or maybe that he kept talking with his friends and kept saying, "Fuck you." He was like, "Yeah, fuck you, like this and that." And I'm just like, man, you're so out of pocket. And then when everybody left, they started to apologize for him. Like, "I'm so sorry, that dude's annoying as fuck." You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, no shit, dude. Dude's telling me I'm ugly and telling me to shut the fuck up, or everyone to shut the fuck up. Not me specifically, but just fuck you, fuck you. And it was just like, you know what? I don't want to be like that. I don't want my friends to be able to say, "I can tell in your eyes that you smoked," while they're drinking. You know what I mean? I'm like waiting for you to quit drinking. I don't know if I have a problem. You drink every day, you got a problem. If you don't have a way to get to your clarity, to a zone where you don't need anything at all, no nails on the chalkboard, no calm down, no what is that word when you have tolerance, right? When you built up your tolerance, that's how many times you pushed it to the other side of the seesaw to be away from your clarity. We'll push our limits and think nothing's missing, hair thinning, teeth still in, people smelling me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want my beautiful teeth my mother gave me to be brown, but I didn't mind to sacrifice it if I was smoking blunts. Started getting dots on my lips, brown dots from all the tobacco. And it didn't seem to mind that I'd be super high and trying to finish my workout routine, and then I would quit the workout routine so I could come smoke again. I look at all these leaves shimmering and I think they don't need anything but the sunlight. They don't need anything but space, loving light, and water to grow with nature in its own flow, in its own seasons, with or without aid. And that's what really kind of dawned on me, was I was just always had a crutch, maybe that's the addict's curse, but we're too afraid of our thoughts. We're too afraid of our life without the pattern. It's scary to live life and on your own terms and by yourself with your own thoughts. You can make it your own prison. And that's what started to happen. I started to see that I was imprisoning my hours, my mind, my thoughts. They were now captivated by cannabis because now I'm as high as a motherfucking giraffe's ass, more like giraffe's pussy, and I'm all the way up in these clouds here, needing to hang out and be present with myself. Not for anyone else, not because it's like I got this big project, or because my business partner is coming here from Denmark to reach out with me and meet me and build this business unequivocally. That's what it is. I wanted to prove to them and my team and to myself, it's just like, I don't need anything, bro. I don't have any more money to buy any more weed. I'm not going to go into debt. I'm not going to borrow weed. I'm not going to have friends gift it to me. And they started to towards the end of my weed cycle. They, here, hand you the gadget, and it's pure weed. Or, hey, I rolled something for us. And then we were at Low Holla Jam, and then my buddy didn't have anything. And I said, thank you. I don't need anything. I just need my friends to be themselves, the best version of themselves. Everybody's talking about the best version of themselves. Well, this is the best version of me. At 45, I realized that I can go anywhere I want to go. I'm this close to being successful. All the years of hard work, all the perseverance, all the brick by brick movements, it's become my castle. And I didn't want to be a king trapped in his own castle. I wanted to be free mentally. And cannabis has that way of making you feel free mentally, but it also has the way of coming with tobacco, and now you smell like a cigarette, and now you've been high and your eyes are blazed, and people don't trust you to make certain situations. They're just going to consider you a stoner, and that you don't have enough wherewithal to be stable. And maybe that's why I haven't had children. Maybe that's why I haven't made the millions. Maybe I would have paid everyone back by now instead of spending money on the sack. That's what my stepdad said. You would have paid me back by now if you would have stopped, quit smoking weed, as he day drinks and loves his craft beers and his whiskey at night. I don't know anyone else that's getting this sober. Apparently my dad got sober about 10, 15 years ago, right along with me, from alcohol, which was impressive, but he hasn't apologized for his attitude. It's not like my father calls me. Instead, he goes to AA meetings and listens to everybody else and leads the meetings and talks about 12 steps, but he forgot the 9th step, and that's calling and apologizing to the people's lives that you've affected. I've gotten to that level. I've gone beyond those 12 steps, and those 12 levels is just like, I wanted to be the best man I could be, clear and happy, weight off, thankfully. Brands shining, models from everywhere, Sweden, Bulgaria or Belgium. It doesn't matter. I was staying as focused as I could when I got out of my haze, and then scramble back to outwork it. Like, okay, now I gotta keep at the gym, or you know keep these thoughts within. And it turns out I'm an open book. That's what Saints Addiction was all about, was admitting my flaws up front. Sure, I'm supposed to be saintly and have all of this capabilities, but the truth is I got bedhead too. I sleep in. I'm not a perfect human being, and that's what Saints Addiction was all about. It was just not being perfect, but being okay with the imperfections, but not doubling down on them and making them worse. And that's all that is. You know, it's a blessing and a curse. To be a saint, obviously is a blessing. To be born in New Orleans, be the sixth of my generation. The curse is that all of those in my family were addicted to tobacco and alcohol and abuse, and that's hard to say. That's a hard conversation to have with yourself and with your mind. And no wonder why I wanted to get blazed. No wonder why I wanted to find a different way. And for the longest time, 10, 15 years almost, it just placated me. My mom smokes like I do. My mom smokes more weed than I do. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. It's what we do. We do what's familiar, just like our family, just like our parents, just like our friends, like minds. I was in a trap house the day before, and the place was absolutely filthy. And all these people kept coming in there, and I'm like, why are they in this house? Why would even a girl show up to a nasty ass house like this, or even use this toilet? Turns out they're junkies too. When you're high on amphetamines, you don't care about dirty toilets. When you're high off of weed. Apparently, you don't care where your friends sleep. And when you've been swallowing alcohol all day, you'll just pass out in the same clothes you wore the last day and not clean a single fucking thing. That's a commitment to the drug instead of a commitment to the love or to your future or to the shine. All right. We double down every time on some, ooh, I got beer at home. Oh man, I can't wait to pop this new wine. Or I've already pre-rolled all these joints. Let's go. And all of our minds group together. That's group think. And we all just escape together. But I don't have PTSD anymore. You know? I just don't. I just don't have it anymore. And I was using it as an excuse. Like my ex was brought it up where she would talk about, are you sure you're done with South Korean prison? And I'm like, yeah, I'm bringing it up because it changed my life. And I was smoking weed to prove a point to them that I could be a successful stoner, that I could keep smoking weed and work on a business and making it succeed. Now I'm on some how much further I would be without weed, how much more of my brain capacity I need because I'm dealing with AI. AI is doing 1,000,000 push-ups when I'm only doing one. And if I'm smoking one, then Lord knows I'm skipping one. And it's still doing push-ups. It's still posting my videos right now as we speak on all the platforms. It's still writing emails and doing email campaigns and SMS messaging. And it needs my full capacity. Let me touch this heart from the start. It needs all of me. And that's what I bring. All of me. This life, this blessing. I just said, you know what? I'm going to stop slowing me down and I'm going to speed my brain up. And as it's still sleepy and fuzzy, you know, what I'm not going to do is throw more fuzz on top of it like I normally do. This is day 2. And it's not so bad. It's not like coming down off of cocaine where my jaw is coming or I don't like the music or the volume's too loud. It's not like alcohol where there's like pains in the gut or you feel the hangover because you haven't been exactly paying attention. And that's what we do. We keep these things at bay instead of being inside of a safe harbor. We keep them at bay. You know, I don't want to think about that. Let me push the cleaning away, right? Let me push that down for another day. No one's going to notice my teeth over these years getting brown. Nobody's going to notice. I think my hair started thinning on top. Nobody's going to notice, you know, the weight gain or the weight loss. It was just me that needs to notice me, that I am a safe harbor for me and my brain and all my thoughts, no matter what's happened to me, from unwanted abortions to South Korean prisons to depression. It's not what I'm doing anymore. You know, I'm not depressed. Matter of fact, I'm in a really sweet spot right now. And I'm on the precipice of my life at 45 where I can live the rest of my life with my habits and my cyclical behavior, or I can improve it even more and make this business successful. Have Intersect.ai be successful and really see my life limitlessly. Can you say that? Is that a word? Oh shit, there's a spider. You see it? You see the spider right here on the edge? I wonder if it's gonna go across the water. Wow. Can you see it? Ooh, there it goes across the water. I knew it was one of those water bugs. I was gonna watch a fucking fish come up and snap it. And that's just the flow of nature. Sometimes you're eating and sometimes something's eating you. And that's what I was starting to notice. It was maybe eating me, or maybe I was keeping it at bay long enough so it wouldn't eat me. That was another thing. And I had to learn these things. I had to learn that there was a flow to life and that I wanted to be in flow instead of fucking up my own flow, fucking up the database, fucking up the frequency, getting cloudy, you know what I mean? And now I don't need anything. That's how sober and clarity feels like. It feels like inner strength. It feels like life could bring me anything, and I've already seen it, done it, and been done it. And I'm not gonna let it buck me. I'm not gonna let it get me out of my game or off of my pattern or into a different cycle. And Lord knows I would cycle. Like especially with depression, it's so cyclical. Or weight loss or anything else you want to do with your life. It's difficult, bro. But I am strong. I am wise. I am wealthy. And I've been listening to my I am affirmations. I've been listening to the capacities of some of these men, from Napoleon Hill to Neville Goddard. You get to see what I see. This is the view. You know what I mean? This is my clarity. This is my moment to see the clouds in the sky, right? Reflect off the lake. And yeah, sure, there's little ripples and bugs skipping by, little water bugs coming across, you know. That's what that's what the fish are here for. And that's what my thoughts are here for, to stay clear and happy and not need any aid to get there, but do it naturally, because the Lord knows it used to be. And I see it in my friends, especially with alcohol. They can't even put a smile on their face without a drink. And then they keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking. And then they're all red in the face. And then their house is a disgrace. And then they don't seem to be there anymore. They're a shadow of their former selves. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So here I stand with my clarity and not running for anything, not needing a smoke, not needing to roll up, not needing to swallow. Just me, here, now, present. And that's a strong feeling. Like I'm here. I'm here for it. I'm still kind of waking up this morning and it's still kind of fuzzy in between here, but I used to smoke on the show and I'd get really fuzzed at the end and just kind of blabble about anything towards the last 5 minutes, because I usually wait to the 15-minute mark for the half hour. Then halfway through it'd be like really clear, and then I would get high, and then I'd be all over the place talking about all sorts of different things. So in my life, I've learned some things at 45 years old, and it was self-control. And I can't think of anything more powerful. You can control your mind, you can control the world, you can control your environment, you can control your circumstances, you can control your reactions. So most of us are reacting instead of in action. Most of us are reflecting instead of projecting, right? Or we don't want to project anything in psychology terms. We want to reflect on what we're doing and why we're doing it. And that's the biggest question of my life. And I started to ask it. And now that I've had this, I share it with you, fine people, whoever's watching, get away from your closet, clear it out, much like we're clearing out the cabins now. It's spring cleaning and it's summertime. It's time to shine. And without any aid or any crutches or any excuses, I don't need them. Everything will eventually kill you. It's not that everyone dies, but not everyone lives. And I wanted everybody to have quality instead of quantity. So this is it, day 2 of my sobriety, and it feels good. I feel alive. I can feel the wind on my skin. I can feel, well, I'm still tired inside my brain, but I'm shaking out the cobwebs. You know what I mean? I'm clearing out my closet. See those cobwebs? Clear my cobwebs and make sure that I am safe, sound, and present in my own mind, and not need anything for aid or excuses or crutches outside of me. And that's this morning's motivation. If you got anything out of this, you already know. Like, share, subscribe below. But as always, all my heart from the start, it's your boy Marky Saint. It's peace and love. And Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Fiendish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. a blessing. Ihana. Chigata.